Stop it. Stop crunching your way to abs. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if you continue to crunch, all you're gonna do is work on the muscle which is underneath the layer of the fat. To get abs, to get that six pack you want, to get that summer body, you need to focus on your nutrition, okay? Now, I've got kind of abs at the moment, but before I show you, let me exhale. Perfect. So I'm gonna show you some of the anatomy of the abs so you can understand it a little bit more. We have at the front, we've got the rectus abdominis, which is like your six pack, which inserts up underneath the rib cage and comes down to the pelvis. That's at the front. We have the external obliques, which are these guys right here, which run the fibers down towards your area, you know. Then we have the internal obliques, which are underneath and they run at the opposite direction. So you've got the external, the internal. We have the serratus anterior, which is up here, which is like the boxer's muscle, they call it as well, because they're always in that position. Then underneath that, we have the transverse abdominis, which is like our natural corset, our waist belt. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you 8 exercises which you can work on to target these abs, okay, and the core as itself in the whole thing. Let's take that back a little bit. Work on to target the abs and the core as itself as a whole. Now also genetics plays a massive factor, so you might see people that have like a 4-pack, a 6-pack or even an 8-pack. That is something that you can't control, your genetics, but you can control the nutrition, but also you can control the workload. And if you want, right, you're going to build up the muscle underneath. If you're not too worried about being ripped and shredded, you just want kind of like a nice little shape there. I'm going to show you these exercises advanced, and then I'm going to show you a less advanced one for you to do at home. If you have, all you need really is a pull-up bar or something to hang on, and that's going to be for a couple of them, and the rest you're going to be able to use body weight on the floor. So here we go. So first off, we're starting with the advanced. We're going to do toe to bar, hanging toe to bar. As you can see, you're going to squeeze, exhale, and then you're going to lift those legs, drawing them up, trying to get that nice squeeze rolling up from the bottom to the top, contraction. Now, picking up your top, flexing those abs. As you can see right here, you're going to roll yourself up. This is the advanced version to really target. This is great to go from bottom to top. Switching up for the more easier or the beginner version, we're just going to do hanging knee raises. Similar concept of curling up from the bottom to the top, squeezing with that exhale to start and getting nice and tight through that midsection. Coming on to the second one, we have plank walkouts. Now what we're doing here is taking 2 points of contact to the floor further away from the elbows and those toes. As you draw yourself backwards, you're creating more tension on that core muscle and the abs to really get that nice burn in that midsection. Now for the beginner or the easier version right here, we're just going to do a static plank for a minute, elbow plank, elbows underneath the shoulders, squeezing the core, clamp the glutes together, flex everything to make this even harder, get nice and tight, and wink and smile. Now we're going to go here for the harder version of the windshield wipers, hanging windshield wipers from left to right. This is a great one to target those obliques and get that rotation of the midsection. Chucking it down now for the alternative, the easier version is on the floor bicycles, squeezing that core, rotating and bringing the opposite elbow to the opposite knee. Now, as you can see, the core also has the back muscles, so we're going to do Superman here. As you can see, I'm doing some pulses, but you're going to squeeze those glutes, lift those legs and raise the upper back to get nice and tight through that lower back section of the core right there, or the erectus spinatus, which is the muscle we're trying to target here. Squeeze, hold and flex. You can do that for 30 seconds or 20-second intervals. Now this is another alternate here. This is targeting, these are like reversed hypers. You can see what we're going to do is squeeze those glutes, we're going to raise those legs, lifting the lower part of the body away and up and out to really target that lower back and those glutes. Whew, intense. So there you have it, there's 8 exercises to work your core, your abs, your obliques, internal by exhaling and squeezing, and your lower back, which is all part of your core. Now for those reversed hypers there, use a chair, use something higher. That was just the closest example. But take care, enjoy the sunshine, work on those abdominals. Oh, now let me know below if you enjoyed this, if you're going to try these exercises. Also, if you thought about exhale and squeeze, flex game was strong when I showed abs earlier. It's a technique in itself, trust me.